Houday Nation, what's up? Geoff and Josh here. It's preseason week 1, Jungle Theater. If you're new here, let's just off the top, follow us, like us, subscribe at Jungle Theater Podcast. Pretty much everywhere on social media except on x.com. We are Jungle, the letter T podcast. Go give us a follow, give us a like, watch some of our prior shows here on YouTube. Bringing you in now, Josh. Welcome.
Yeah.
We just were in Cincinnati for the practice last Saturday. We're, tomorrow Bengals visiting the city of brotherly love, facing the defending Super Bowl champs, Nick Sirianni, I think from your neck of the woods, right? All the connections here.
Oh, yeah.
How we feeling?
Going into the game, I'm feeling great. I think Bengals fans should be feeling great from what we saw.
Yeah.
What we saw at Kettering, the following day. I think the Bengals have been looking pretty sharp in camp. I think they've had some ups and downs, but I mean, going into this game, I'm pretty excited. I'm mostly excited, a little bit scared. Jeff, maybe you can talk about it. We're going to see more Joe Burrow this preseason than we've ever seen in our lives. Now, I know that we haven't had a lot of preseason with Joe, due to injury, but how are you feeling as far as playing, Joe as much as forecasted?
Truth be told, scared as hell. We've never really gone through this. And, when Zach Taylor says he's going to play. No, I found it funny Zach used the word several series after the last time when we used several with the calf. But, I expect him to play maybe 3, 4, several. You look it up anywhere from 3 to 5 series. I think it just depends. Honestly, if it's the first drive and they go out and he's 7 of 8 for, 85 yards and a touchdown, I think we've seen all we need to see. But I'm scared, right? I mean, this is what it's all about.
I think you're going to find me. You find me on the opposite side of the spectrum there, because I think I want to see him play as much as you can. I think, football preseason, that stuff happens. It also happens in week 1. It also happens in week 2 and week 16 and week 17. I think if you want to win a Super Bowl, if you want to go out there and show the world, what they're capable of, I think they have to stop doing that. I think they have to start doing something unconventional. And I know that we've gone from, a system where you used to see the starters for the first half. Remember that? I think there were some games we used to see starters back in the day, 3 quarters. But coming into this season, and I was telling you this to Jeff, Joe apparently was the one that went to Zach Taylor and told Zach Taylor, or asked Zach Taylor, either way, that he wanted to play more and that the offense needed to be out there with the starters more in this preseason to avoid a slow start to the season again. So to me, I'm on the other side of that spectrum, Jeff. I think that's a good thing for Bengals fans. I think it's a good thing for the Bengals. I think if it really helps us start fast, hey, if we go 3-0 to start the season, Jeff, okay, and you chance an injury with anybody in any game, you chance an injury in anybody in any game anyways, in my opinion. So they're going to play more. I'm excited to see it, especially from, again, what we've seen. Maybe we can roll into some of what we saw coming out of camp just a few days ago. You can kick us off of that if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, we were at Paycor on Saturday, and it was awesome, right? I mean, the lower bowl was all that they allowed, and it was packed. I think, anybody that follows the Bengals saw that. But, I mean, the chance to beautiful weather, great company, great times. And just, it was.
You're talking company, like he said, great company, guys. I already note that, that company was me. So, I'm great. I'm a good time, Jeff.
That's right. We did have an awesome time, and we had an awesome time after the practice too, mind you.
Yeah, we did.
And that's
shout out to wherever we got our wings, Jeff. I don't know what that was. I cannot remember. That was a
knockback Nats. Shout out to knockback
Nats. Yeah, shout out, guys. That stuff was nice. Nice.
Yeah,
well
really
done.
Good. And it was a good time. So yeah, it was cool to see. When you watch a practice, right, it can get kind of boring and you're sitting there drinking beer and, all this stuff, right? But I think, when you watch, my biggest takeaway was watching Burrow, right? Because it's Burrow and then Browning and then Ritter and then the 4th stringer, Peyton Thorne, I think.
Really, Jeff, what we saw was there's Burrow. because I'm concerned if okay, here this was what we talked about while we were sitting there, Geoff, a little bit, right? That I said to you, whoa, who threw that ball? I mean, it was so short. I mean, so short, like 5 yards short. And no disrespect. I mean, I know I'm not an NFL quarterback, but uh, if the name's not Joe Burrow that's on the field behind that offensive line, then we're gonna have a really, really, really long season. So
And we can,
wow,
yeah, we can get into that because
yeah,
but watching, just watching the pro level quarterback, watching four guys complete the same throw,
yeah.
and watching Burrow go first and Thorne last, it's a real night and day to see the difference of why the elite of the elites quarterbacks, right? The Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes, whatever, they put it on a dime, and the other guys are, you're off by 6 inches. That's picked, or it's at least a breakup, right? So, and I think you could see that come through in the practice. So that was really cool to see. And then I think we got to talk about the offensive line as we head into tomorrow night. You're a little bit more bullish on the line, and maybe I listened to too many Bengals podcasts, too much ESPN 1530, and all they do is talk about how scared they are about how bad the offensive line is. But the depth chart comes out, Josh, and Cody Ford's already on the second team.
That's okay. That's okay with me. Who? So we're talking Patrick.
Lucas Patrick.
So we're talking Patrick. So we're talking Patrick. Okay. Mm-hmm. If it's anybody that's not named Ford, I'm just going to be blunt about it. He's a great guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful person, and he's a great football player, but he's not who I want on my offensive line. So if his name is not Cody Ford, I'm okay with it. Then you have the whole Dylan Fairchild. I mean, wow.
I'm really interested to see him tomorrow night against
that
Eagles defense, even if it's their backups, right?
He's a I mean, Fairchild. I mean, he's a effing man, dude. That guy is a beast.
I mean, I hope so, right? I mean, that interior, you're starting to see in the NFL more and more that pass rush. You got guys kicking inside like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and they're rushing up the guard because they know they aren't any good. Am I going to rush at Orlando Brown and Amarius Mims, or am I going to rush at Lucas Patrick and Dylan Fairchild? I'm probably going to choose the latter because they're probably easier to get through.
Well, so that's the question then, Mims or Fairchild?
Oh, I mean, if I'm going to rush, I'm going to try to go through Fairchild over Mims. But
what's your thought on Mims right now?
I mean, status. I think he's got a hand issue, right? He had a soft cast on, and some things came out. Remember last year when they had him and Frank Pollock got into it on the sideline?
Yeah.
And it came out, I think Paul Dehner Jr. reported it was because Mims wouldn't go back in the game. I thought it was the other way around, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was Pollock yelling at Mims for not going back. So I think that's something you got to watch out for. Is Mims a guy that he's having a great camp and he's fighting through some things and he's expected to play tomorrow, but does he want it? Does he have that dog in him, if you will?
And he's going to have to have it.
He's going to have to.
He's going to have to have it because he's got somebody right on his footsteps and we're right on his heels, and he looks good. I'm a big fan of what I saw. Big fan.
And you're talking Rivers, right? Is
yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mims is going to be fine. I just think that when it's December 28th in week 15 or 16 and you're beat up, are you going to push through and fight because we need you? 80% of Mims most likely is better than anybody else we've got. Maybe not, but probably so. And I think it could be just a one-off, or maybe he had a broken hand, I think it was last year. So it's not like he was it wasn't a hangnail or anything, right? So I think that's something to look out for. But I'm really excited to see, that first team offense. How long? Because Burrow wants to play 3, maybe 4 series potentially, depending on how well or not it goes. But what about Chase and Higgins? I don't really want them out there that long.
I know, Geoff. I know I think we all hold our breath, but I'm just going to reiterate what I said before. I want to see them. I want to see everybody. I want everybody together. I want everybody on the same page. I want to see what we saw in that practice times 10. Okay. I want to walk into, right? I'm on the team.
Sure.
No, I'm walking into week one or walking into the stadium against the Eagles. I want to see that team because that team has to be ready week one. And we have not proven that we can do that yet. We have not proven that. So what do? We just keep trying the same thing over and over again and hoping that, that one year it's going to work. Well, it's not. It's not working. So Joe wants to play. Jamar and T's ass will be on that field. I guarantee it. No doubt about it in my mind.
Breeze is in here saying he's betting Jermaine Burton anytime TD tomorrow. I think that's a solid bet. And says need to win tomorrow. Haven't won a preseason game in at least 2 years. I don't care about the win.
Oh, I do.
I will say, like, Burrow, I don't need to see Chase and Higgins running 50-yard routes and a soft dish. Like, I don't need to see it.
Well, why? So let's get into a debate. When you say why, I mean, I told you why I do. I mean, I think it's pretty logical. I think that there's a logical explanation from my standpoint that, we're doing the same thing every year. Joe goes to Zach and says, I want to effing play, man. Like, we need more reps. The way that, and I'm going to rewind to what you said about Burrow before, but the way that he goes to him and the way that he says that, or the way that he carries himself with that, that's a leader move. That's a leader mentality. And if that's where he's going to go, every single player will be on that field. I don't doubt it for 1 minute, Jeff. I don't think that Chase and T aren't going to step out there with Burrow. And I want to see I want to see him drop one in the bucket. I'd love to see Chase run. Why are we just doing it in practice? You can pull a hammy in practice. You can roll an ankle in practice.
Well, we know that because Higgins missed the first 2 games last year. And what were we 0-2? Like, that's my thing. I get what you're saying. I'm saying, like, that first drive, if it's successful, I don't need to see those receivers again. Let's get some of the other guys in there, like Burton and Jones, right? Maybe let's say first series, Burrow 7 of 8 with a touchdown to Chase, and Higgins has a couple catches. Like, I don't need to see those guys again. We're good. We got our reps in. Burrow needs the reps for calling protections and, audibling and all the different things that a quarterback's going to go through. So I understand Burrow wanting a little bit more. I will say this. Whenever the first team O-line goes out, Burton's going, Burrow's going with them, right? Yes. Like, I don't want, if Mims or Brown or Karras specifically are out, Burrow's coming out. Like, there's no reason. Like, if Mims comes out tomorrow and for some reason doesn't play, you may need to reevaluate how long Burrow's out there, right? Like, you don't need to, right? Like, I don't.
Mims isn't going to play. I'm telling you right now, Mims
is playing tomorrow.
I know Mims is playing. Okay. Jeff gets fired up. Listen, man, I know Mims is playing, but Mims ain't playing, dude. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to call it right now. Mims will not be starting. Not going to happen.
Like, for the year?
Yeah. I don't think he's a starter. I don't think he's got it in him, man. Now. No, I'm serious. I don't feel like he's got it. Like, I don't feel like he's pushing. He's getting, dude, he is close right now. Like, he's got somebody nipping on his heels. I'm into him. Who am I talking about? Who am I talking about?
From Miami. What? Breeze. Tell us in the chat. Rivers or whatever. I mean, Breeze is a Miami Hurricanes fan.
No, Rivers, baby.
Mims is your first round right tackle bookend. No, Mims is.
It doesn't
Mims is a stud.
Okay. All right. Well, if
he may not have the heart, but he's 6'8".
If I still had that board, I would write that prediction on the wall, just so I could cross it off after the first preseason game when he lets the rusher pat, and just blows an assignment.
And maybe we're overanalyzing it, right? This is why we need real games. We're still a month away from that.
We all that's what we do, is we overanalyze and we speculate. That's what we do. Otherwise we'd be on a football field throwing a football.
Right. And now maybe move to the other side of the ball. You talk about a guy that maybe has the heart, maybe doesn't. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to Myles Murphy. Yeah. Guys, in year 3, he has to take a leap. Like, does he have it in him? We still don't know.
It's rotational on that side too, right? I mean, as far as we know.
Shamar Stewart, like, he's I'm not.
Why don't we wait for that one? Do you want to have that conversation now?
let's talk Miles
Let's finish
Murphy.
up this part. Yeah.
Miles Murphy tomorrow. I need to see something. I don't care if it's against their second team. Like, I need to see you get to the quarterback. I need some I need to see that you can actually do it, because and we'll get to Trey Hendrickson here in a bit, because I know you have a rant you want to get to before we're done, and I promise you we'll get there. I figure we're probably going to have Trey Hendrickson week 1 at some point. That the dam will break and that'll work out. But if we don't, I need to know that Miles Murphy can bring it. I know Osai can get to the quarterback. I think Shamar Stewart, and we're getting ready to talk about him in a second. I mean, that guy's about to pass up Miles Murphy if he's not careful. It's not saying a lot, right? Miles Murphy really hasn't done anything, but I think that's who I want to see on defense. Cam Taylor-Britt's not playing. Dax Hill's not playing. Totally fine with that if they're managing stuff, no issues. We don't have another game for, I think, 11 days after this before they go to Washington.
Yeah. Can you say that? Can you say that again, Geoff? I just missed that last part you said.
The Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill not playing, all that stuff, right? So, which is fine. And then BJ Hill's not playing. Obviously, he's been working through stuff. I fully expect those guys are going to be there at Cleveland, so I'm not concerned about that. But the defensive line, the young guys, Miles Murphy at year 3, want to see that. I mean, what do you want to see defensively? And then maybe we can touch on Shamar a bit.
I think that we need some rotational play. I think we're going to see a lot of rotational play. I really do. I don't think you're going to see anybody that's really – I don't think you're going to see any –
Yeah, I mean –
I apologize. I don't think you're going to see anybody really on the defensive side of the ball. Geoff, you can go ahead and take over just for 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. Hey, you know what? Sometimes things happen. Dog, if you got, Miles Murphy, does he have the dog in him? Josh has got dogs at his house.
We're back.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, hey,
yeah,
things happen.
Yeah.
Back on rotational. So what's your rotation? They're talking NASCAR package on the defensive line. They're talking all these great things that we see in August, right? And for those of you,
so we're talking about Tate right now, right? Or we're talking. So okay, so I'm seeing an Osai, Miles. I'm seeing Stewart. I'm seeing I'm seeing those 3.
Cam Sample maybe is in there.
Oh, I think Cam Sample's one of the staples. I think if you were going to say which is going to see more time, you're talking about Cam Sample, who's a behemoth of a man when you see him in person, guys. I think that's mostly what you'll see. I really like that. A lot of the comments coming out of camp are that the defense is going a little bit more not simplistic, but something that's not so deep and complex that they can have a lot of blown coverages and the things that we saw last year where we would have just blown assignments, blown coverages. But it was there was a lot of poor communication last year that they had talked about after the season. So hopefully that's fixed. But how I feel about our defense. I love our defense.
Guys pointing to the ball's about to be snapped and you're pointing and don't know where you're going. That's a problem. And they say Al Golden, a couple things about him. They say he's the first one out to practice and the last one to leave, and they say he hits the Versa climber before practice like a madman. So he's working. So I think it's probably less complex for the defense to bring in. You got a lot of young guys, right? And the first depth chart came out, and you can say what you want about that. And Zach Taylor can say, a lot can change. Like that
it doesn't mean anything.
I think it means a lot.
I mean, I don't think this early it does. Honestly, I think we're still in baby phase.
No one more full of shit than an NFL head coach. No one.
No, absolutely. They're paid.
So when he says it doesn't mean anything, it's all lip service, right? Like Dax Hill's playing the slot. That's why they didn't bring Mike Hilton back. He's your slot guy. He's a little bit bigger. He can rush the passer. He can tackle. You're going to have
I love Dax.
DJ. Yeah. And
you're not going to find a player. You're not going to find. All right. So here we go. Is who commented last, Geoff, in the chat there?
It's Breeze.
Is that she's?
It's Breeze.
Breeze.
Big Miami Hurricanes.
Let's ask Breeze. Let's ask Breeze. Breeze, I have a question for you. Is he still there?
I mean, he might be in the chat. We'll let him know.
Yeah. So we'll throw you into the show, buddy. So my question to you is, if you have a concern with our defense, specifically a position or player, who are you most concerned with besides Trey Hendrickson? Because we're going to get to that. Trust me.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Okay, so we're going to throw that out. Let's see if he's still here and what has that question. But go ahead, Geoff.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets a response. And I think right that to me, I
That's
want
what
to
I
talk to
see
you.
though.
Maybe
That's my
maybe
question
yeah.
is I don't see it. I don't see the
What about the
weakness.
linebackers? I'm bullish on the linebackers actually.
I love our linebackers.
Wilson, Knight, Burks, Barrett Carter, and then people forget about Shaka Hayward, dude. That guy at the end of the year
Oh yeah.
last year was playing a lot, had a big stop in Pittsburgh, right? Like, if that's your fifth linebacker, like I can deal with that. And I
Yeah.
think Demetrius Knight, 44, you're gonna have. I mean, I
He's
think people
he's
are gonna
he's
love that
he's
dude.
legit. We'll talk
Yeah,
a little bit, Jeff, what we saw at camp as far as he went. We did catch him quite a few times. I mean, they were down on our side, um,
he
on the
flashes.
left-hand
He
side
can
of the
cover.
bowl,
He's
right?
he's smart,
He's so fast.
cerebral.
He's
Um,
fast. He's fast. What does he run? What did you tell me he ran?
I don't know what he runs, but he's fast and he's smart, and that's what you need at the linebacker position. And no offense to Jermaine Pratt, at one
No.
time he was faster, but he was not fast last year,
Yeah.
and he did make a lot of the right decisions, and he
Yeah,
had
no,
trouble tackling.
I
So
love Jermaine Pratt. I was
yeah,
always a Jermaine Pratt fan, a backer. I mean, he gave us his time, props to
yeah.
Jermaine.
But
But yeah, I mean, it was
you
time
got
to
to be
move on.
fast.
It was time to move on, right? I mean, we had to get better at the position, and where were we getting attacked last year? Um, was all over the field, and we couldn't shut anything down. So that middle of the field and stacking that box, we were getting burnt by tight ends and by you know slot receivers so many times it got disgusting. And then, I think it pulls Gino out of position, right? Because Gino's got to come in. And then it puts pressure on our cornerbacks. And then, let's be honest, our cornerbacks we were real depleted in that position last year. Um, but I mean,
If you're
that's what
gonna,
I'm saying. Jeff, I want, go
yeah,
ahead.
but if you're gonna play, and Bree, we may have lost him, but if you're going to play Lamar Jackson twice a year, you're definitely playing Josh Allen at least once this year. Mahomes is evasive, right? You're going to play a lot of these guys. You're hoping in January that linebackers got to chase them down and tackle, or at least make them make a mistake or throw the ball away, right? And
We have to be able to we have to be able to cover, Jeff. I mean,
well, yeah,
our linebackers specifically. I mean, think about name. Here we go. Let me get into this, and I'll ask you a question.
yeah, yeah.
But the linebackers have to be able to cover, and that has been one of our Achilles heels for a long time. I believe that we've always had a good middle linebacker. And going back years, I think that we've always had a good middle linebacker. There was a few years where I think we had some of the best tandems in the NFL. But those guys were quick, fast, long, and that's what you're looking at with Demetrius Knight. I mean, that's the player, that if you drew him up on Madden, that's exactly what he looks like. That's exactly what his rating is.
Mhm.
Was the guy that I saw there at camp. So I'm excited to see him. I'm very excited to see what he has to add to this defense this year. So again, excitement. I'm excited for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see Knight flashing and making a play on one of these quarterbacks that are mobile
Yep.
that we didn't make last year. And Logan Wilson was hurt in the back half of the year and didn't play. They shut
Yep.
him down but you have those two guys, and then the other guys we mentioned with Carter and Burks and probably Hayward backing them up. Like, I feel fine about the linebacker room. And then I'm a little bit skeptical on safety. I think we're thin back there, and I wouldn't mind them adding somebody. I mean, you look at it. I mean, I think Jordan Battle can play. Geno Stone took a pay cut. He's on a prove it, but what's behind them? Tyson Anderson, Dejon Anthony, a lot of unproven back there. Makes me a
Talk
little
about
nervous.
Tyson. Talk about Tyson.
Well, I mean, he's a Pro Bowl special teamer, right?
Yep.
But
He's
we've never
gonna.
seen him play
Yep.
safety, which is, or never really in any game that's matters, right? We
That's
haven't seen him.
mattered.
So,
He has at the field. I mean, I don't think he's not gonna. I think he was one of the players I talked to and said that I was a little bit excited about just seeing
yeah.
more of this year. Right? He was playing a little more in camp. They were talking a little bit about him as safety in a safety role, not as a staple, not as a starter. You're talking probably your fourth safety,
Yeah. I
fifth
mean, but we
maybe,
need,
but
if I
I don't
could,
want to see his name. Listen, I don't want to see his name on the starting, the card where we're
no,
walking into the game. I don't want to see his name. Obviously, I'm not no shade on him. I do like him, but I think that room's deep enough, and I think that you're going to see Geno Stone be Geno Stone. I think it's a better it's a better scheme defensively. It's a simpler scheme defensively. It's not so simple that it's, vanilla stuff that we'll see in the preseason. But I'm excited about this defense. You can't tell me a position, or you could ask me a position that I'm worried about, and I'll tell you that I'm not. I mean, I don't think that we have a glaring weakness on defense.
On defense, if
Give it
if
to me.
I were Duke Tobin,
Okay, let's go.
one either side of the ball, defense, I need another safety,
Okay.
right? And on offense, I would like to bring in a veteran guard after cut down day. Like, when somebody's going to get cut, like, we need to bring in another a guard.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would assume so.
here's the thing: like, if tomorrow night, let's just say Eagles play their first defense, we saw it in the Super Bowl, and Jalen Carter knocks Dylan Fairchild's teeth in, you need to be on the phone to Braden Sheriff or Will Hernandez or whoever the hell and say, what's it going to cost to get you to come in here? I get it. I'm just saying, just for a depth piece, like whatever, because Fairchild's still a rookie. I'm not turning back to Cordell Volson and, Patrick Ford. What I'd like to have, it make me sleep a little better at night, knowing I got another guard.
I will take Patrick and Fairchild. If you were asking me, that's who I take.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably your starters. Yeah, right
Yeah.
now. And, Cody Ford is a little bit more versatile, right? As a 6th or 7th lineman.
He's not a bad role player. He's not a bad person to have on the bench or to have in a pinch when we've needed him. He has stepped up.
Yeah.
And I mean, is he the best? I mean, is he the best? Absolutely not. I mean, nobody's perfect, but he's given serviceable minutes for us. But it's time for him to be taking that role again. But I think further in the backseat, right? I think we have a deep enough offensive line right now, especially some younger players, that we can afford to do that.
Yep. And so I promised we'd get to this because we haven't talked about this guy yet, but we talked a lot about him this weekend.
Okay.
And he's a guy that obviously he's third on the depth chart right now is Trey Hendrickson because he's not there technically. I was looking around, like, do you get, like, he's in camp. He's in a dry fit Nike Bengals t-shirt. Looks like he's in great shape, which is great. Don't know if I think he gets paid. Like, you think he'll get fined or anything. He's already been fined $250,000, but you have some things to say about Trey. And I want to kind of just give you the floor here to just go. I've got this written down in my show prep notes as Josh's rant. So what do you got to say about Trey Hendrickson? Here we are, a month away from the season starting. How are we feeling? What are your thoughts? Tell us, just like you told me this past weekend, and probably more than that.
Well, I'm going to be blunt, and even if I take some criticism for this, and I think it's important that it's said, and I think it's important that it's heard. When I think about what's gone down with Trey, we signed Trey, right? Came into the league, he wanted an extension. Okay, we gave Trey an extension. Trey moves on. Trey wants another extension. He wants all guaranteed money now. Okay, that's not how it works. I'm 100% on the record right now saying that if I were Mike Brown, and I have fully supported Mike Brown this year, and that. I mean, we haven't hit the season yet, but I would play the game the entire way. I'd make him eat the money. If he wants to sit, I'd let him sit. I'd make him eat the 17 million, 20 million. It depends on going into playoffs, but I would make him sit. I'd make him eat the money, because what I see when I look at him is a phony job. I think he's a fake, and I think he's a phony. And I do not know the man. I don't act like I do. I'm not saying that I do. What my perception is that he's a phony. He preaches that he's all team, and he shows it that he shows up to camp, and that's wonderful. But you're showing up to camp so that you don't get fined, bud. You're talking
He's about the money. He's about money.
He's all about money, and what he does is he uses the war paint here, right, to do his celebration. He uses every year and every statistic that he gets to his advantage because he wants more money, and then he plays the game. I'm the greatest teammate in the locker room. I'm and that's what I've seen. That's what we thought. Okay. In 2 years, that's what we've seen on the other side of the ball, right? The business side of the ball. So to me, if I'm working with anybody and I'm working in business, that person is somebody that I do not trust. I don't trust them. I don't want to work with them. I don't want to try. I can't trust them. They do not want to be part of the team. Uh, Play your contract, Trey. You
And
signed the damn contract. We gave you an extension, Geoff, and this is harsh, but pay the fucking and we're paying him. Get on the damn field. Get
and
on the field. And I
I don't
hope
I don't disagree with you.
I wish my prayer right now is that some miracle from God would drop this clip in some kind of his social media and he could listen to me, because I would tell him to get his ass on the field, pray when you sack 17 and a half times. Okay. And I don't care. That's great. Wonderful. Love your celebration and all that stuff. But stop being a phony. Get on the damn field and stop asking for more money. Prove it. Prove it this year. Then you want to talk about another extension, talk about it later. But this is it. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done talking or thinking about him at all. What I really want to move on to, and so I know that wasn't much of a rant. I have plenty more that I've
It's
said here,
very
Geoff.
direct, very calm.
But I'm just,
Yeah, I
yes,
like it.
I'm being very calm about it, Geoff, because I have the time to think about it, process it. But really, it makes my blood boil. I will give you a perfect example, Geoff. So my son Greta and Griffey ran down to the tunnel at the end of practice, and the players were coming out and they're giving high fives and tossing out gloves and towels and stuff to the kids. And the Bengals are great with the kids, by the way. Absolutely fantastic to the kids. But he's out there and he's posing with children. He's smiling. I mean, I'm watching him, and it's a freaking show. It's a show. I'm calling him out. I'm calling Trey out right now. You're a phony. And if you're not a phony, I'll eat my freaking foot, but show me, because you won't get on that damn field. I guarantee it, because you are fake. You want more money. Brown's not going to give it to you. You are going to eat that money, but you are going to show us that you're fake because you're going to play. Eventually, Geoff, he's going to get on that field
That's where I
because
was going. That's what I was
and
going to say.
it's going to prove to all of us how phony he is if he gets on that field in week 3 and says, I'm playing. Because you know what? That's because you just lost $3 million. So
I don't think it'll be week 3. I think it'll be week 1.
I don't care what week it is. I'm just using that as an example. But it's going to show that, oh shit, rubber hits the road. Right now, I'm going to start losing money, big money, not preseason money, a milli a game. We're going to go down that route. If you're real, if you're for real, if you are staunch on your beliefs and what you want and what you need for yourself, and that's great. If that's what you think your self-worth is, wonderful. I wish I was worth that much money. But if you believe all of that stuff, show us. If you step on the field week 1 or week 3 or week 9, Geoff, to me, great. Thanks for sacking the quarterback, Trey. That's where I'm at right now, because he needs to be on that field. And if he gets on, it's going to prove to you, right, that right now I'm right. He's phony. He's fake because he wants the money.
But if you're about the money, Josh, if you're about the money, you don't sit games.
If you're about the money, you're fake.
If you're about the money,
because if you're preaching
he'll be out there week 1. He's not giving up $1 million a week. No way.
No, and he preaches team all the time, right? I mean, how many interviews have you heard? Greatest teammates. I love the locker room. It's a great locker room, great atmosphere, blah, 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 blah. I'm calling bull on it.
He reminds me of this. He's the guy that gives himself a nickname.
Yes.
He wants to be a captain. You can't say, hey, I want to be a captain, right? Hey, call me T-Bone or whatever the hell you like. No. Right. We got to call you T-Bone because that's what we call you, not because you told me that you wanted it. So I'm with you. I mean, my rant is like, I'm done thinking about him. And I mean, he's either there or he's not. But the guy that is there, and finally we got him in the camp, I think we'll wrap up by talking about Shamar a bit, is like what I want to see tomorrow. Like, he has been more impressive, and like, he took a lot of crap from us, right? And deservedly so. Yeah. He was getting bad advice.
In my opinion, rightfully so.
His agent's nuts, by the way. Go watch that. The Bengalorian.
The interview with the podcasters. Are you talking about that?
That guy is loco. But
that was a great interview. That's a great watch.
Great watch. But Shamar's loco on the field. Like, he is he's Euro stepping our backup lineman.
He's wrecking. He is
Yeah.
he is entirely abusing the players that he's playing. I mean, he has gotten to the quarterback. Geoff, we watched that, and he was. I think he even made Joe eat it, didn't he? In one of the practices, I don't know if it was the one we watched or if it was the following practice, Kettering, but he made Joe eat a ball.
Yeah.
Joe had to tuck one and just sit on it. So I mean, he is the kind of player that I think we were hoping he was going to be. And I hope that we were right, and it's okay. I think that we were right to bash him a little bit, right? We wanted him to sign. But what I saw on that field was a man who was dominating. So you're going to see first. I mean, I cannot wait to see what that man does, because if he is as disruptive in the preseason as he wasn't in the two practices, he is a man. He's going to be a headache for offenses all year.
I'm telling you, it's going to be late in the year, right? Flashing forward, 97 and 44 will be making big plays at the end of the year that are different, are winning plays for this team. Two of the first two draft picks on Al Golden's defense, you're going to have, and Trey will be there. He will be there making his $1 million a week, or maybe they end up giving him a little bit more money. They probably will. But imagine, Josh, late in the year, playing in Pittsburgh. I don't know when we play them, December somewhere. And Aaron Rodgers is back there. And Henry, who can't move, by the way, looks like me out there trying to play quarterback right now. It's pretty bad. Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart coming from the inside, right? Like they're Shamar Stewart coming up the middle, right? In kind of that NASCAR package. And they're going to make plays with Knight covering. I can see a tip pick, something like that. Clip this when it happens. But the Bengals, they're going to be better defensively than I thought. And I mean, we could go on and on and on, but I think Shamar is at least Kevin Shamar gives us an opportunity with Trey, right? To say like, hey, if you're not here, like he's going to play.
The reports from camp are encouraging, because anytime Joe's frustrated and pissed off at the offense, that's good for the defense, right? I mean, you're playing Joe Burrow, and we watched how he commanded himself on the field. He walked on and he threw the ball, and you should see the way that he commands that field. It's unbelievable. And before we're done, Geoff, and we'll probably go over, but before we're done, Mike Gesicki, folks, we're not going to see Mike Gesicki tomorrow, or Noah Fant. Noah Fant, we did see catching a lot of passes after practice. He was taking passes from Ritter. He was the last one off the field, which I really liked to see. But something I noticed too, I shared with you, I had a clip of it, was Burrow running, sideline sprints, wind sprints. And there was no one else on the field. It was Joe Burrow, and it was Ritter and Gesicki and Fant, and Gesicki left, and he was throwing to Fant, and Burrow sprinting. And so he got done and walked out. And of course, all the fans go crazy as he walks out. But to me, that's my quarterback.
I'm fired up. I'm
ready
to go.
Ready.
Bengals, Eagles.
Hey, shout out to the fantasy family. Yep. Sorry. Campese family fantasy team. I have about 75 cousins, and about 20 of them are in our fantasy football league. Shout out to them and their friends. They follow us, Geoff. They do like us. They like me. They don't like you. But shout out to my guys. Shout out to my family. Thanks for watching, and good guys. So I'm getting excited for fantasy too, Geoff. I know you got to do your thing here, but I want to thank everybody and appreciate all the likes, all the shares, all the subscriptions or subscribes. But go ahead.
Sure.
Hoo-day, everybody. I am jacked up after what I saw. I'm jacked up for tomorrow night. I will not miss a second of that game. So
and I mean, just a reminder, at Jungle Theater Podcast on YouTube. That's, give us a like, subscribe. It's free. You can watch us here live on demand anytime you want to. Catch us in podcast form at Jungle Theater Podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts, as they say in the business. And then again, social media on Instagram, probably the best way to follow us, x.com, all that stuff. Check us out. And Josh, 24 hours from now, first preseason game will probably be in the books. We'll be back probably sometime later this weekend at some point, maybe Friday night, maybe Saturday, Sunday. We'll see where that comes in and kind of talk about that as we head into, practice number 11 next week, Josh. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right.
Thanks, Geoff, and thanks everybody for your time. Who Dey, I'm more jacked, Geoff, this year than I had been in many, many, many Bengals years. Who Dey, shout out to all our fans, and shout out to Who Dey Nation. Let's go. Let's get the season on.
I'm running through running through walls with snot bubbles, as
that's right.
The Chickster would say, 700 WLW.
That's right.
So with that,
that's right.
Everybody have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Later, guys.